What's up, guys? It's the AOLE Double X Prince, and I am back here on YouTube. Yes, woo! I took a break, didn't I? Yeah. Um, Let me just say, you know what? I missed you guys. It's been kind of a good time to just take a break. If I needed that break, obviously. And I just feel good now. I had just finished Thanksgiving. We went Black Friday shopping. I got some posters. I got some shit. And I'm basically saving up. I have a couple of money, but I'm kind of broke right now because of Black Friday. I'm still looking for a job. So, I'm still trying to work and get a job soon rather than later. Um, and then as far as this goes, I'm just, excited to be back up here. While I was gone, I was in New York City. If you guys knew that, you guys might be wondering what was that like. It was all right. I mean, it was. I had a great time. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of weird because, I'm not used to the weather. I'm in California, so the weather is always either hot or kind of chilly, but it's never too cold or too hot. So it was like a really confusing weather. I went for a wedding. I don't know how I feel about weddings and stuff yet. I mean, I'm 18. I don't know. I just thought it was, it was whatever. I mean, a big incident happened, while I was there. My friend called. He got hit with a car. It was fucking crazy. He's doing fine now. Hell, he even started yelling at me to stop crying, like stop freaking out or something. But yeah. Overall, my trip in New York was fun. I was in Brooklyn for the most part. It was. I had a good time there. My family was cool there. I mean, for those of you who do not know this, since my dad got married or remarried, I should say, to a lady who's from New York, and their family is technically our family now. So I got to experience what it's like to be a New Yorker and shit. Or I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. Anyways, that was going on. For the most part, it was great. I have a cousin that goes to college there, so she was there. So overall, I had a good time. But, anyways, I'll talk about my future plans. I'll catch up with the wrestling, and I'll talk about some movies I watched over the time I was gone. All right. So as far as wrestling goes, right as soon as I left, I hear the news that New Japan Pro Wrestling's Power Struggle was up, and again, I don't really talk about a lot about indie wrestling as much, just because it's kind of like hard to keep track of everything. But I got a chance to see this, and I was pleasantly surprised of how good the show was. Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. It's kind of weird seeing Hiroshi Tanahashi as the IC champion, considering people consider him the John Cena of Japan wrestling as far as how he wrestles. And, he's done a pretty good job making that belt prestigious. Him and Tetsuya Naito. But Naito is up to bigger things. Marty Scurll beat Will Ospreay for the junior weight championship. I like their matches, but this is probably the weakest one. And the problem with this is that they have so many matches. Honestly, something I'll give crap to indie wrestling is that they tend to have the same match over and over. They don't change it up a bit every here and there. And when they do, that means that they really take stuff serious. Kenny Omega defeated Beretta, aka Trent Beretta, for the IWGP United States Championship. That was a fantastic match. I was really happy to see that match. Trent Beretta's doing a lot. It's weird because he was a jobber back in the day. Even in the indie wrestling, he was known to be a jobber. As far as everything goes, again, everything was all right for the most part. Everything was pretty good, but it's really hard to talk about everything. And because I really want to talk about this, it's kind of crazy that when I left, we get the announcement that Kenny Omega is fighting Chris Jericho, and I was like, oh shit. I could talk about that, but you know what? I just need this break. I need that time to relax and, mind my own shit. Anyways, Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. This sounds like a super exciting match. Obviously, it's not going to be as great as, we all expect it to be, simply for the fact that this is, Chris Jericho in like his like mid 40s, I want to say. I don't know how old the guy is, but he's pretty old. And knowing that he's like really old, and I don't know how well he could pull off a great match with Kenny Omega. I have the benefit. I have like the benefit of like positivity that these guys will go out and have like a great match. And honestly, this is gonna go down as the most important match in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. I mean, you think about it. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho, a guy who said he will never, ever leave WWE. No matter what, the issues that he has with them, he'll never go to a different company. He's in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, it shows that WWE is, like, not the place. I mean, you guys already got rid of, what's his face? Juice Robinson, Cody Rhodes. And so, you know, it shows that WWE isn't the end all be all. And honestly, it's got to the point that New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE are just feuding at this point. It's pretty obvious at this point with the whole, Too Sweet. The Bullet Club gets sued. Now they're doing the One Sweet. I actually like the One Sweet. It looks stupid, but it actually works. So I'm cool with that. So yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 12, it's past potential being the best Wrestle Kingdom out there. I mean, look at the card. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Jay White. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, as we mentioned. Kazuchika Okada, my bad, versus Tetsuya Naito in the main event. That's just up there. We have a fatal four-way between Marty Scurll, Hiromu Takahashi, Kushida, and Will Ospreay for the IWGP Junior Weight Championship. My four favorite junior weights, if they had Ricochet instead of Hiromu Takahashi, I honestly would have said this would be one of the greatest fatal four-ways of all time, but I'm cool with that. Who knows what's up with, what's it called, Ricochet, because ever since, Lucha Underground, they're getting ready for Lucha Underground Season 4, I wonder what the hell they're going to do now. So I'm glad that Lucha Underground Season 4 is coming up, but I'm just kind of curious as to what the hell is going to happen. I mean, you have that video of Johnny Mundo, obviously he's coming back. I don't know if Rey Mysterio is coming back. They might kill him off, honestly. They kill off a lot of people who don't come back, like El Patron and Big Rick. I think they killed him off, or on the show, not for reals. Prince Puma, obviously he's retired as the Prince Puma character. Now he's going to go, apparently he's going to GFW, which honestly, okay, do what you want to do. If you guys want to go to GFW, fine. Eli Drake is not the top guy. Honestly, I can't get behind Eli Drake. He's just boring. He looks boring. He just is boring, Honestly, like, NXT took all their guys. Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre, Eric Young. I mean, they're doomed. I'm just surprised they still made it. So it's whatever. But let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about some positivity for once. NXT TakeOver WarGames. Holy shit, this show was off the hook. Now, personally, I would not have Lars Sullivan and Cassius Ohno in this show. I would not have it. This is probably the weakest match of the show. Cassius Ohno is just, I'm sorry, he just doesn't work for me. He looks horrible. He wrestles good, but he just doesn't look like he's like well in shape. Like if he changed his look a little bit, if he lost some weight, I would get behind Cassius Ohno, but it's whatever. Lars Sullivan, I'm really excited for the push this guy's getting. Finally, someone new. I like him because, he actually trained Brock Lesnar. That's great. Personally, I would have changed Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano for this match. Then it would have easily been the greatest takeover of all time. But this match kind of like took it off for me. Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano, let's just talk about that just so I don't remember it. I skipped the Ruby Riott match. I just saw Dunne and Gargano. This is a great match, and it was only like 9 minutes. So it just shows you, like, if you guys give these guys a chance to just do what they are good at, they have a chance to just prove themselves to the ring. Pete Dunne and Johnny Gargano, two of the best wrestlers right now, and now they're here. Speaking of greatest wrestlers in NXT, the Velveteen Dream. This is insane. I hated this guy. I really hated this guy. He just looked corny. I saw him as a Tyler Breeze ripoff, but after seeing this match, I was surprised. He and Aleister Black had one of the best matches of the show. This was a really fun match. The way they kept playing with each other, no homo. They were like playing mind tricks. It was great, and it shows like they told a story with the match, and eventually Aleister Black says, "Yeah, you're the Velveteen Dream." I kind of wish he said his real name. I forgot what it was, but I'm cool with this. Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black. Good job, you guys like killed it. People would say this is the match of the night. I wouldn't argue with you, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what my match of the night is. The vacant NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way. Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce. I personally wished Nikki Cross won, or Peyton Royce, or actually I predicted Ember Moon was gonna win, but for some reason Ember Moon was like my like the one I wanted to win the least, simply for the fact, and I like Ember Moon, she's amazing. The thing with her is that if she was gonna win the women's championship, why didn't you guys just let her beat the streak of Asuka? That would have worked. So it just took me out of it. Then again, I would not want to see and personally this is me, I would not want to see Ember Moon beat Asuka twice. I think the fact that Asuka still has the streak, and we'll get to Survivor Series, I'm pretty happy that it happened that way at least. But I don't know, I'm actually still kind of, I'll see what happens, because at least NXT knows what they're doing. Ember Moon winning, while I did predict it right and I wasn't as excited, I'm still kind of curious to see what they do. Maybe they'll turn her heel and it's going to be Kairi Sane versus Ember Moon, the underdog story. I could actually get behind that. Peyton Royce, honestly, she should have gone to the main roster, and you'll see why in a minute. So yeah, there is that. Next match that they had was Andrade Cien Almas beating Drew McIntyre. I was so shocked that this happened. I knew that freaking Austin Aries' wife was gonna play a big part of this match, but I did not know that it was gonna lead to Cien Almas winning, and I'm actually kind of glad, because this is first, it's a shocker, and two, no one predicted it, and Cien Almas is over his shit. The only thing that I'm curious about, what the hell is gonna happen with the Undisputed Era. Honestly, I'll get to the Undisputed Era when I get to them, but I don't know. I wonder what the hell's gonna happen now with those guys. So, I'm just kind of curious to see what they do, because Drew McIntyre apparently got injured, which is why they had to switch at the last minute, I guess, about who wins the match. So I understand that part. So there's that. What else happened? Oh, I think that's it. WarGames. Damn, this was a fantastic match. Granted, it didn't feel like WarGames quite, just because they forgot to put the roof on top. They just did it just to have a couple of spots there. People say this is a 5-star classic. I don't see it. It's a great match. It's a fantastic match, but I wouldn't say it's a A+, like one of the greatest matches of all time, because there's so many other great WarGames matches, and for the most part, it did kind of feel kind of spot fest-y in a way, but it still worked, obviously, because Killian Dane became a star with this match. The Authors of Pain can finally work on their own. Roderick Strong looked ridiculous dressing up like the AOP, kind of like Kurt Angle as the Shield. It was just ridiculous. Sanity was easily on top of it. Honestly, this is the best run Eric Young's ever had in his life. I don't like Eric Young. I never liked Eric Young, but he's growing on me because of Sanity. I think this is the best push he has. Granted, I still think he's sucks on the mic, just because his voice is too much sometimes, but it's whatever. The Undisputed Era ends up winning like we all predicted. The thing that gets me here is, what the hell are they gonna do now? Because Andrade Cien Almas is a heel, and Adam Cole is a heel. Then I don't know how they're gonna settle Gargano and Ciampa. I think people are just asking for the NXT belt people want to see Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. And personally, at this point, they don't need the belt. They could just have a great match. They already have a story. They just need to put it together. So, the NXT Championship is a bonus. If Gargano ends up winning it and Ciampa fight for it, I'll be glad as hell. But it's just like a little bonus. It's not like, oh shit, this has to happen. So, anyways, WarGames, phenomenal show, awesome show. Now let's get to Survivor Series. Holy shit. Now, let me just start off saying the commentary was bad. They had 5 commentators all at once. It was just so bad. They should have just had Corey Graves, a Raw guy, and a SmackDown guy, honestly. Personally, Michael Cole, because Booker T, I'm sorry, he's just out of his head. He's fucking gone mental or something every time he's on commentary, so I don't know. If anything, I would have brought back Mauro Ronaldo since JBL isn't there anymore. So, enough of the commentary. Let's just get on to the show. The Shield beat the New Day. This was a great match, but the thing that took me away from it is that I already knew that the Shield was going to win. This is still a great match. Roman and the New Day have great chemistry. This is a fantastic match. I had a great time watching it. Team Raw defeated Team SmackDown from the women's side. Soul Survivor, Asuka. This match was sloppy as fuck. But despite the moment of Asuka standing tall, I was cool with. But the rest of the match was garbage. It was just sloppy. There's a part where Alicia Fox was supposed to tap out to Naomi, but then Sasha Banks does a reversal. It was all bad. It was weird. So there's that. Baron Corbin beat The Miz. It was an okay match. It wasn't awful like everybody predicted, but it made Baron Corbin look strong, and we'll get to The Miz later on. Usos beat Cesaro and Sheamus. I thought this was a really good match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. If we had the Shield versus the Usos, personally, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more, but I'm still cool with this match. It was alright for the most part. It was a pretty solid ass match. It was a good match. It picked up at the end, but then by the time it really picked up, that's when it ended, which kind of killed it for me. Charlotte beat Alexa Bliss. I thought this match was gonna be like off the walls, like 4 stars or something, but I don't know. Either Alexa Bliss is not that great of a wrestler as we all think she is, or she's just like something was off today. I don't know what's up with that. But still a fun little match. Then we get to the match tonight. Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. Personally, this should have been the main event for me. I thought this should have been the main event. It was such a good match. It was great. And this shows that Brock Lesnar should stick to smaller dudes as far as wrestling goes. Because if you actually think about it, Brock Lesnar has had great matches with smaller guys such as Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and now AJ Styles. Not saying he can't have good matches with big men like Roman Reigns and The Undertaker, but recently he's just been like slacking it and just been kind of acting really weird about wrestling bigger dudes. Like Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe, those matches ended like that. Even the Goldberg match, while a great match, but it was still kind of like weird seeing it slow. This was a really interesting match. It was basically Brock Lesnar Brock Lesnar beats the crap out of AJ Styles. Then AJ Styles goes a reversal. He does a quick comeback. He reverses everything. It was pretty cool. And it kind of looked like what Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar could have been if they actually ever fought, if you think about it. I could totally see Daniel Bryan doing the same thing if he fought Brock Lesnar. And I guess Brock Lesnar got injured for reals in this match. So, hopefully he's doing okay because, we want to see him at the Royal Rumble. Put that belt on the line. And, but this was a really good match. It was 15 minutes. I think it was the right amount of time. It was good for what it needed to be. And, I enjoyed the match. It's one of the best matches WWE had this year. Which ain't saying much now that I think about it. Team Raw defeated Team SmackDown from the men's Survivor Series match. This was a letdown. You have, honestly, the 2 biggest teams of all time fighting it off at Survivor Series. And one side you have Kurt Angle, um, Triple H, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman. 5 of their best Raw guys. And then on SmackDown, you had Shane McMahon, John Cena, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bobby Roode. That sounds like a really good match. And it really let me down because the first 2 eliminated were Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura. Personally, I would have kept those 2 just so they could have developed them, and people said like, yeah, these guys are the future of this company, or future like mid-carders or whatever you want to say. What else? Then everybody teamed up to attack Braun Strowman, and then eventually Joe and Finn Balor were the next ones eliminated. Oh, John Cena got eliminated pretty like lame. Basically, the ref gets distracted. Finn Balor like does a coup de grace, and then Kurt Angle pins him. It was like awkward. Like honestly, I feel bad for John Cena. He could have been shooting his movie, but instead you guys are wasting his time. So it sucked. Then it was Randy Orton and Shane McMahon versus Triple H. Actually, it was like Randy Orton and Shane versus all 4 dudes from Team Raw, except for Joe, of course. And then he eliminates Finn Balor like that. Then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn interfere. And by the way, why were they on the pre-show? That's just lame. It was just pretty stupid. I would just not have him on the show, make it the moment feel even more like, oh shit, these guys are pissed off, especially with the backstage heat that they're having in real life. Eventually, it ends up being a 3-on-1 with Shane, Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Braun Strowman. Kurt Angle was about to make Shane tap out, then Triple H pedigrees Kurt Angle really sloppy, by the way. Shane pins him, and I'm thinking, holy shit, Triple H is going to turn on on Braun Strowman. He's going to go on Team SmackDown. This is something interesting. And then Triple H pedigrees Shane and beats him, and the commentary ruined it by saying, Triple H wanted to end Team SmackDown. He didn't want Kurt Angle to do it. It was just so stupid. Eventually, people were teasing Triple H versus Braun Strowman, which honestly is a match I don't want to see. I don't even want to see Braun Strowman versus Kane. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that match. Or Triple H versus Braun Strowman, and it was just all bad. And then they don't even really recap it well on Raw, because on Raw, basically you just have Triple H talking that, yeah, I beat him. Then Kurt Angle's arguing, Jason Jordan and Braun Strowman are arguing. I wish this, honestly, the perfect way that we could have had Raw lose is if Jason Jordan turned on Kurt Angle. He just walks in and beats the crap out of Kurt Angle or something, or hits him with a chair. But no, we have to stick with this storyline, and I'm tired of this storyline. Jason Jordan is a great talent. He sucks on the mic, obviously. He's a shitty crier and shit. But overall, the guy's got talent. He just needs to find himself. That's all. Then we had on Raw, Roman Reigns is the IC champion. Big shocker. Roman Reigns went from beating Undertaker and John Cena this year to the IC championship. I don't know how the fuck that works. But it was a good match between him and The Miz. I thought it was a really good match. Miz is going to go shoot a movie, so he's gone for a while. And I think this is good because of the future plans I see WWE doing. I'll get to them when I get to them. What else happened on Raw? Obviously, Braun and Kane are continuing their stupid feud. Paige comes out and she brings in 2 other women from 2 jobbers, personally, that I've never really seen. I think I know Liv Morgan, otherwise, either that or she was on the SmackDown side, because Paige comes back with 2 other women that from Tough Enough, I guess, or NXT, whatever. They beat up a bunch of women, and then Ruby Riott does the same shit on SmackDown. She debuts and brings 2 other women. Either they're setting up a women's Royal Rumble, they're just trying to do 2 same factions. I don't know what they're doing, but they're really acting really dumb. And I don't know, I'm not digging this whole 2 factions on 2 shows. It's not cool. I don't like it. the women's Royal Rumble match, sure, have it, but I don't know. This is just kind of lazy the way they did it. Another thing. Uh, what else happened on SmackDown? Kevin Owens and New Day fighting. Eventually, Clash of Champions. Let me just start off by saying I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care. I don't care about watching it because it's just matches we already saw. Benjamin and Gable versus the Usos, Mahal and Styles, Orton and Nakamura versus Owens and Zayn. Yes, I saw the match card leak. It looks horrible. I don't want to see it. Speaking of Kevin Owens, I saw the Kevin Owens the 365 documentary. I thought it was a really good documentary. I really enjoyed it. Kevin Owens, I feel bad that he's having backstage heat, and it shows because Vince McMahon is a fucking asshole. Like, he's like not giving a fuck about anybody. Like, it showed in this documentary. Like, Kevin Owens like, come on, just like, what's up? I did a good job, and then he's just like, because apparently they were crapping on Jericho and Owens at WrestleMania 33, his matches at Backlash, all this shit. And I felt bad for the guy, And if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn end up going to New Japan, I'll forward to it. I'm down to see Kevin Steen and El Generico. I'm down to see that because honestly, WWE is just being fucking assholes. And honestly, WWE is just becoming WCW on its own. It's just horrible. So, Vince McMahon, just get out of that fucking studio. As far as that, I enjoyed the documentary. I heard they're gonna do Jinder Mahal next, and I'm actually down to see it. I want to see the Jinder Mahal one because we're gonna get behind the scenes of like how he felt about people trashing him as the WWE champion. So I'm curious to see how his reaction to all this stuff was. So I'm really down for that. As far as WrestleMania 34 goes, I don't know. WrestleMania 34. It has potential of being a good WrestleMania or a bad WrestleMania. If WWE gets their head out of their ass and actually do Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar, a match we've never seen, we might have a chance to have a good show. If you think about it. Brock Lesnar and Finn Balor, AJ Styles and Nakamura, Kurt Angle versus Triple H, which is a mixed bag as far as who wants to see it. I do see the Triple Threat Shield match coming out for the IC belt. I actually do see that happening down the road. So if they do that, I'm pretty excited if they do that. For the IC belt, yes, all the way. They might do Strowman and Kane. If The Undertaker comes back, please don't. They might do Strowman and Taker, which is fine, but I don't know. A match that is kind of getting teased. I'm actually really excited for it. And that is Shane McMahon versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan looks like he wants to come back to the ring. He might come back to the ring. He's doing everything to come back. So if they actually do that match, I'm actually down for it. I still wish that The Miz was on SmackDown. That way we could have had a possible match between The Miz and Daniel Bryan for once. Like, shit. I mean, we've seen the match before, but the way it was built up on Talking Smack all the way to there, it was just incredible. And I really hate that it's a match we're probably never gonna see at WrestleMania or any of that anywhere down the road. Everybody wanted to see it, even like people who are not into like the technical wrestling. Like, people want to see The Miz fight Daniel Bryan, and for some reason WWE lacks on giving people what the fuck they want. That's it for wrestling. I'm fucking tired. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, that was a long talk. Let's talk about some movies that I watched while I was gone. I saw like 6 movies. Yes, 6 movies. And one of them is a movie probably no one's ever heard about. So the first one I actually got a chance to see was Thor Ragnarok. This was a great movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Honestly, Thor, this is the best one he's had. I will say this, it was kind of too jokey for the most part. There was times where I'm like, okay, stop fucking joking and get to the point. But for the most part, I had a great time with this movie. It was a lot of fun. The new characters were great. Hulk was amazing. I had a good time with this movie. It was a fun time. If you love the cinematic universe, you're good. I wouldn't say this is one of the better ones for the MCU. If anything, as far as the Marvel movies that came out this year, um, Spider-Man: Homecoming was definitely better. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was that one's debatable because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a great movie, but it's not like I don't think it's as good as Thor Ragnarok personally. So I don't know. Another movie I saw, A Bad Mom's Christmas. I saw the first Bad Moms with my mom, of course, so I went to go see the second one with her again. We had a good time. It was a good movie. It was funny. It was enjoyable. Mila Kunis, Kristen Wiig, and I forget the other chicks' names. They're all funny. The moms were great, and they picked the right women for the roles. It was really funny and really enjoyable. I really recommend you guys to watch it. It was a lot of fun. Holy crap, this one was crazy. Lady Bird, this one was incredible. I forget the girl's name, but this movie just like it blew me away. It was like basically what I'm going through right now as far as college goes. Like we're trying to live college, and it was such a good story. Like you have to watch it. Like Lady Bird. If you guys see the poster or anything, go watch it. It's basically a girl that the girl Saoirse Ronan. I got a chance to see it. I don't know why I saw it, but fuck, I'm glad I did. It was a really, really good movie. It really got me, and I loved it. It was one of the best movies of this year. That's good enough to say. One of the weakest movies this year was Daddy's Home 2, and I actually got to see this with in New York with my stepmom's father. We had a good time. Oddly enough, we were the only two there. And I'm not saying this movie has to be like a box office hit, but I mean, it's not as painful as everybody else said it was. I definitely did not like the first Daddy's Home as much. And this one was slightly better. I'm cool with like John Lithgow and Mel Gibson. They're kind of cartoony, but I mean, it's just a movie at the end of the day. I didn't kick myself in the head watching it. If anything, I had fun. I had a couple giggles. It was fun. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's probably the weakest movie I saw all week. Justice League. I kind of want to talk about. I don't know, cause I saw two other movies. Yeah, I'll talk about Justice League next, cause the other one I really want to save. Justice League. This was a good movie, but I understand why people don't like it. I really get you guys, but fuck. You guys are exaggerating like a motherfucker. You guys are acting like this is the worst piece of shit ever. It was a good movie. Not a great movie, obviously, but it's a start. I'm definitely excited to see what the DCEU brings next. I mean, I'm excited for the Batman standalone movies, the Flash movie, Aquaman. Superman's introduction was great. For the most part. Superman, not Clark Kent. The way he brought back is kind of stupid and weak. There's a lot of parts I wish because they cut off a lot of this movie, and I felt like they cut off parts that we actually needed for the movie, because this movie is like 2 hours and it feels rushed. It feels like 3 different movies. But for the most part, if for some reason I still had fun watching it, it's probably the weakest out of all the DC movies I've seen. Actually, I think it is this or Suicide Squad, and I really enjoyed Suicide Squad for the most part. BVS, I see why people hate it a lot. I like it a lot more than other people do. It's definitely no Wonder Woman. Fuck that. Man of Steel, I like it more than everybody else. I think so. People are complaining that it's not like the original movie, and let me get this straight. The 1978 Superman will always be the 1978 Superman. It's time for us to move on and watch something new. Man of Steel was a different touch to it. Obviously, it wasn't as great as that, but the fact that we got something new is cool. Yes, I enjoyed this movie, and I wish they didn't cut stuff off. I think the Ultimate Edition will bring up shit that will be better. So, or the director's cut, whatever they call it at this point. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see that version of the movie. I think once we get that movie, we will get, in fact, the best movie that we could have gotten out of Justice League. The problem is, I'm tired of fucking doing that. I'm tired of watching one in theaters and then waiting for the better one on DVD or Blu-ray. Well, Suicide Squad ruined themselves when they did their extended cut. That was actually worse than what I saw in theaters. Last movie I saw, Coco. Everybody knows that Pixar is my favorite franchise, and the fact that I don't know how the hell Pixar did this, but they got something from my culture and made it good. Like, I like people are gonna compare it to the Book of Life, but this was better than the Book of Life. The reason why I say that's because Book of Life had shit that, let's be real, really annoyed the hell out of me. The fucking kids that they're telling the story to were shit. I really want to honestly go on the screen and beat the fuck out of those kids personally. But Coco made me happy. I was and it made me cry too. So Pixar is good at making people cry, and it's also good at making people happy. It was a beautiful movie, great music, great characters. I enjoyed it from top to bottom. Just thinking about it, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It's the best animated movie of the year. 8 plus, 10 out of 10. Pixar's on a roll. They're coming back finally. They got ruined in Cars 2. Brave was horrible. MU was okay, but not that great. They really came back on Inside Out. The Good Dinosaur was a shit movie. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Then from there we went from that. I think Cars 3 was next, which was actually the best Cars out of all the franchise that came out earlier this year. I enjoyed it. But Coco was something spectacular. It blew me away. Actually, I think I'm exaggerating with the whole 10 out of 10. I think they got some parts a little bit confusing. And the whole thing about the family being assholes, I didn't like it that much. But overall, I had a great time with Coco. And it's honestly one of the best Pixar movies in this modern time. It's up there with one of the best animated movies of all time. It's definitely up there, and I really, really recommend this movie. This is a great movie. Honestly, the best one I saw out of the weekend, either that or Lady Bird. So yeah, there's that for movies. Okay, I'm almost done. Before I go, let me just talk about some future projects I want to work on. Let me just say that most of these are going to happen in 2018 probably. One thing that I definitely want to try to do is a lot of rebooking shows and rebooking things. As far as this goes, I got a huge inspiration about doing rebooking. And yeah, I can't wait to try it out. The first rebooking I'm going to try out is, and I don't think anyone's ever done this ever, but I actually want to rebook 2017 WWE 2017. I think this has never been done, and I want to try it out. I want to actually rebook 2017 the entire year, and also give you what my card of WrestleMania 34 would have looked like if I were to rebook the show. The year, my bad. That is something I definitely want to try out. A lot of people ask me to rebook the Invasion angle, and that's another idea. So if you guys want me to rebook years, try it out. The top 100 matches of the year, I do that each year. I'm gonna do it again, but it's not gonna happen this year. I'm actually gonna wait until 2018 to do that. I'm doing a list of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I'm actually shocked that I'm not that excited for movies next year. I'm really not. Besides Infinity War, or maybe Deadpool 2, obviously, we're all excited for the blockbusters, but I don't know. I'm trying to find movies, new movies. I'm trying to find original stuff. I don't want to just rely on superhero movies, and I want to talk about other stuff too. I talked about Lady Bird a little bit without giving anything away, just like a college story. But yeah, I want to see other shit. So there's that. Last thing I want to talk about is the 12 days of Double X. Something new, kind of like the 12 days of Christmas. I want to try something different. The 12 days of Double X. 12 days, 12 videos, 12 songs. That's the twist. I've been writing a lot of music since I was gone. I want to try to perform again. And the problem with me not performing or showing videos of me performing in public is because I've actually hardly went to shit this year. Like, I think I only uploaded one video this year of a performance I did. And I actually want to try to do some songs that I've performed back then, and as well as some songs I've been writing of, including a Christmas one I wrote. I still don't have a name for the song because I'm actually still working on it, but I'm thinking about it. Look, Double X Prince Santa. I actually want to try to do that. Starting December 1st, I think would be the best time to do it. Friday, December 1st. I feel like doing either that or December 2nd because I might be busy on Friday. Because the Disaster Artist comes out and I want to see that shit so badly. I really want to see that movie. So yeah, there's that. What else am I supposed to talk about? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I might do some songs. And to prove that I'm like telling the truth about this, let me just pull it off right now. I'm gonna see if I can find it, but I actually have written a shit ton of songs, just so you guys like don't think I'm like lying. Here it is. Here's one of them. I'm like, oh shit, you can barely see it, but like, yeah. Anyways, the point is that I have songs, and I want to sing at least 12 of them. Some of them I've sang multiple times at other shows, but I've never gotten the chance to do them. And if you guys are wondering where am I gonna exactly sing these songs, here. It makes sense. I think doing the videos here would definitely work in my personal viewing because, I mean, there's no shows I'm performing at. Might as well do them here. Definitely want to do them here. Some old songs, some new songs. I just want to try it out. I want to try out this new stuff. I want to try new stuff on YouTube. And not new as to the point where it makes no fucking sense. I want to at least do little things that make it new. Just to kind of get attention. And I definitely wholeheartedly want to get 100 subscribers. Desperately. If you guys love me, if you guys like me a lot, tell your friends to subscribe if they're into this kind of stuff. Please. I really want to get to 100 subscribers. I want to say that I did it. I want to say that I am doing something, And I hope you guys, enjoyed what I talked about, my opinions on stuff. Yeah, I hope I'm back for good. And I just hope to see you guys soon. Anyways, it's me, the ALE Double X Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And until then, I'm out.